people are looking for answers on their own. They're not just turning to the traditional medical system for the answers that they're looking for. Everything relates to everything, and health and disease first starts in the gut. So it's how we begin to move the pathway forward. The brain is not separate from the body. So if you have Alzheimer's, we traditionally think of that being a brain dysfunction. We think of Alzheimer's as being originating in the brain. If you have depression, we think of that being originating in the brain. So you can have 100 patients with Alzheimer's, and even though they have similar symptoms, they might all have a slightly different root cause. The brain and the gut are connected. Everything ultimately comes back to our gut, including our brain health. Our vagus nerve is constantly communicating and looking out through all its tentacles that are inside of our intestinal lining and tract. It's looking for information on how to tell our body how to respond. Our gut has over 100 trillion bacteria, and it outnumbers, the amount of bacteria in our gut outnumbers the entire amount of cells inside of the human body. Now, inflammation is the starting point of where these diseases come from. When we're eating a diet filled with foods that are triggering inflammation inside of our body, that area develops irritation. When that area develops irritation, and when we take things like antibiotics, which destroy the bacteria that's protecting that area, we develop something called leaky gut. When you develop leaky gut, you now have holes in that intestinal lining where things, bad bugs, viruses, unprocessed foods can slip in and can trigger an immune response, which ultimately could lead to an autoimmune type disease if left untreated, or could just cause irritation. And it's like a healthy ecosystem. It's a rainforest. And when we take things like antibiotics, when we have too much sugar in our diet, when we have other things that disrupt our gut bacteria, that imbalance gets out of whack. And when that imbalance gets out of whack, we have all sorts of ramifications that show up in our body. One round of a traditional Z-Pack could cut up anywhere between 5 and 20% of your total abundance, depending on how long you're staying on that Z-Pack. And then it may take a month or two to recover, but when you recover, the diversity is never there. So this idea that we can just take antibiotics and that they don't affect anything else, it's complete bullshit. This idea that we can take one thing and it's not going to affect other things, we're letting go of that in medicine, and we're starting to understand that everything impacts everything.